sometimes people think being a healer is an amazing thing. About a year ago, my mother was diagnosed with cancer. They said it was lung cancer, and they gave her about 3 days to 2 weeks. They said if she didn't get chemotherapy and radiation, she was going to die. Um, she probably for the first time in her life, she asked me for help. And I remember that because it was one of those times that I felt that she believed in me, but it was also so much pressure. I had to be there for her. And of course, my brothers and sisters, to the best of their ability, they said no. They didn't want me to do it, or at least most of them didn't. Maybe some of them did, but they thought it was ridiculous. I mean, people think that I have this amazing life, but most of my family disowned me. And when they heard that I was doing this for my mom, they they criticized me. But I sat down. I got all the information I could, and her doctors humored her a little bit. And I started 6 hours a day at first, 3, 4 days, 5 days in a row. And I remember all this pressure, like I was going to lose my mom. And she was down to only 20%. It's scary. It's scary to do what I do, but it's even more scary when it's somebody you love. And I remember just sitting there thinking I was being stupid, thinking that it wasn't going to work. I mean, I was I was so overwhelmed because even though I had helped people in the past, it was more for removing pain. I mean, my specialty is not cancer. It's removing pain. It's fixing the bones. But I stuck with it every day. And then my mom, one day, she was in there for the x-rays, and they forgot to turn on her oxygen. And it was for a period of time. My mom needed the oxygen, but they forgot to turn it on. And I got the news that they opened it up and my mom was fine. They said that her breathing had come back under control and the blockage had disappeared. And at that moment, I believed even more in what I was doing. And then slowly but surely, things started happening. Doctors making mistakes. Like, for example, when they put in the chemotherapy tube, they blocked her heart, creating an expansion in her heart after they had already told her she had a coronary heart failure. They said that her heart had expanded on top of that. And they said, well, the cancer is going down, but now your heart is it's going to give in. So then I worked on her heart on top of the cancer. And I worked on that as well, an hour every day. And every time family members would call me just to tell me to stop. It was one of the hardest things to do because people just thought I was giving my mom false hope. And I felt so tired. I'm telling this story because this was probably the hardest thing in my life. It was the biggest test in my life. And I was more emotional because I remember many times I was just sitting at the table crying. It's just not about the strength of the energy. I have plenty. It's the emotion and fear. And it's about everything. When I was by myself, emergencies would happen and I would be on the road. I'd have to pull over, go to a McDonald's, KFC, or somewhere. And I would do the treatment where hundreds of people were watching me, thinking something was wrong. And I'm a foreigner, so people see me very clearly. And I remember because I heard some of the comments. I heard many words. And I ignored every one of them. They didn't know what I was doing. And they probably never will care. But I did it. Then later, my mom's heart got better. They said that the heart shrunk down. And then they said that her heart, congestive heart failure disappeared. They gave her the paper and they asked her, how did she do it? And when she said it was because of me, they ignored it. They said that we don't talk about these things. We don't want to hear about these things. They smiled. And then when they said that her liver was not good, I helped her again. And again, my family started seeing and hearing this, and they ignored it. They still wanted nothing to do with me because of what I do. Then my mom's liver got better. And then, of course, because of all the chemotherapy and radiation, her kidneys started acting up. And then they said, because of this, your kidneys aren't going to work very long. And then I worked on those. I had to become a specialist in every single organ. When she was having nausea from it, I had to work on the spleen. When she was starting to have a form of diabetes, I had to work on the pancreas. When her hair started falling out, I had to learn to work on not only the kidneys, but also on the thyroid. And I had to learn to do that. No doctor would talk to me. And every time they said she wasn't going to make it, I convinced her that we were going to make it. Even though sometimes I wasn't completely sure. My mother-in-law understood and kind of believed, but my sister, they did not believe. They were planning for the worst. My youngest brother was already planning out the expenses for the failure. I did not plan for the failure. And then after all these ups and downs, and there were hundreds of them, from the chemotherapy to the radiation, so many mistakes, so many issues. Then it's got to be about 6 months ago now, my mom got the news that the cancer was gone. Her hair turned amazing. She's got a full set of hair. Every organ is great. Every organ is within its ability for her age and beyond. Then I got a message that the doctors wanted to talk to me, and I called them and they blocked me. They didn't want to hear it. They didn't want people like me to be around there. And even now, they ignore people like me. And some of them even trolled me afterwards. Maybe not from my mom's hospital, but people trolled me when I was showing my mom's results. Did everything they could to get me off of every platform possible. Got me in so much trouble for nothing, for just sharing my ability. But we made it. And as of now, my mom's cancer is completely gone. As of now. 6 months ago, the last test, she was cancer-free. Even now, my family, my aunts, my uncles, even my youngest brother has disowned me for my mental illness. But at least I can say that I never gave up. This is my first time speaking on here, but I would not say that this will be my last. Thank you for letting me talk.
Thank you, Michael. That must have been incredibly struggling for you, and I feel for you. We all feel for you. And especially during those times when you get a phone call from someone that you really don't know and they're suggesting that your mother's going to pass. And then the challenge then is when family don't understand frequencies or how your particular type of meditation technique can actually help people to incredible insight, incredible degrees. And you're able to harness all the different energies that's available on Mother Earth. And then you're able to distribute those energies to people. So with her congestive heart failure, you're able to distribute the energy to that particular organ to actually help to regenerate. Same with the cancer, you're able to improve the immune system. So now the person, your mum, is cancer-free. And this message, I believe, has to get out to more and more people, that we can do things far beyond what we're used to. And something that's really interesting that is still a statistic today, and it's been a statistic for 3 decades or more, that the third leading cause of death in Western society is iatrogenic diseases, which means from drugs, from surgery, from chemo, is still the third cause of death today. And it's no one's fault, it's just the world that we live in at this particular time. But your message needs to get out there because you can help so many people. And thank you very much, Michael. I've got tears now as well. Thank you for sharing your story. It means a lot.
You're welcome. Thank you.